Okay, we should be live. This is Stile, Teckel, and Asclepius with Echoes from the Caverns. Third week doing the live stream. I think I have the technical glitches handled at this point, but we still may have a few as a disclaimer.
Fantastic. So welcome everybody.
Yeah, currently I'm headed over to the Shroud of the Avatar group, and I'm going to post some links here. One more link, and that is taken care of. This.
Beautiful. So if anybody's breathlessly waiting to watch us live or to jump in and join us, there it is.
I'm also going to post it in the UDIC also, because there's a lot of Shroud of the Avatar folks in there.
Right.
If I can find it. We'll just do it up here. Cut and paste. Okay, yeah, so that's all done. Not only are we live, but links have been posted in the appropriate places. So we could either have a guest jumped in or we could have viewers.
That'd be exciting. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll do the official intro.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Asclepius with Echoes from the Caverns. Newscast dated 27 July 2018. Echoes from the Caverns is distributed by Stile Teckel and is a combined podcast and YouTube video project. It was originally created by Lord Baldrith. It is run and managed by Stile Teckel and Asclepius. The background music for the podcast is by Stephen J. Goldman. Well, how you doing this week, Stile?
I'm doing pretty good. Today's been a bit exhausting, working on some house projects. In between working on Shroud of the Avatar and in between working on this and that. But yeah, doing good. How about you?
Fantastic. Well, I've had a good week. I've done almost nothing at work. So that's great.
Not going on there, the Ultimate Dragons anniversary shirt.
Oh, yeah, love it. Yeah, I thought that'd be a good shirt to wear.
Definitely.
For the broadcast. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had a bit of time in game, which has been great. Managed to brush up on the crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Got the master working up to GM, which is fantastic.
A little bit.
Yeah, fallen over hugely on the enchanting, as we were talking. Yeah. Enchanting weapons, I don't know how many XP that takes, but it's an awful lot. It really is.
The enchanting is brutal.
Yes, yeah. I've got the basic enchanting up to GM. That's good.
It's that specialty at the bottom.
Yeah, the one underneath it that says weapon enchanting.
That gets rough.
Boy, oh, I haven't seen any spreadsheets or graphs for it. I was looking for them. You know how somebody's very kindly done that for adventuring glyphs and skills and stuff. And some of them are easy. It'll take you 1,000,000 points to get from 0 to 100. And then the really, really, really tough ones, like dexterity and intelligence and strength, you're looking at 12 million.
Yeah.
And they are just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. And so, yeah, I think weapon enchantment somewhere around there.
Of all the crafting skills, the most XP draining ones are that bottom row in your alchemy.
Yeah, lovely.
I think I'm
Okay.
guessing they're probably. I'm guessing that whole bottom row. You know, you got what weapon enchanting, and then you got armor enchanting, something like that. But that bottom row, I'm guessing each one of those is probably the same regarding each other. But those
Probably
are
is.
any of the other crafting skills.
Yes, yes, they're brutal.
Yeah, because I mean, I've
And
been
then,
working on those, and I've been working on some of the masterwork specifics, and I
yes.
have the masterworks up much higher than the enchantments.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was pleased. Yeah, the masterwork just went up nicely. That was great. And I had an obsidian potion of guidance happening.
Yep.
So that fed the XP into it much more quickly. So that was great. But boy, and when you also
is doing really well right now because they, that we had some new recipes.
oh nice.
And I obtained the unicorn recipes. I also got a hold of some unicorn blood, and I got a hold of some unicorn horns, and I made a few different things there. And I mounted some unicorn heads, and so yeah, the first time you do a recipe, you get that.
Oh yeah.
And the rare recipe, the even and the components even bigger that gain. So I'm sitting on a pretty decent pool for not doing a lot.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I don't know whether I mentioned it, but a week or so ago, I was doing something similar. I was kicking around thinking, well, what can I make that I haven't made before? Yeah, why don't I make a wand? It's great. I don't actually use wands, but what the hell? And looked in my recipe book. Oh, they take heartwood. Oh, yeah. I've actually got a piece of ashen heartwood.
Nice.
That I pulled out of a reaper. So put that on the table, put the appropriate bits on the table. Not only was it apparently valuable, because it's rare, it came out as an exceptional.
Oh, yes, you get that bonus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The exceptional is real nice.
And it had some nice stats on it. And I got about 5,000 XP for it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when double XP wasn't running. I thought, I should have done this on the weekend.
I did a few recipes during the week this week. I was kind of like, I don't want to wait, but man, I kind of hate throwing away the XP. So
yeah, yeah. But hey, it's a nice little wand and it's great. So there you go. But that was fun. And I've been wandering around just exploring things, trying to improve things, and generally having fun.
Most of my time's been working on inventory sorting because I've got a lot of inventory that's come in, but I'm getting there slowly. And I do crafting in between.
Wow. Good on you. Okay. Anyway, to the news, we have an update, which is number 290, and it's all about playing Release 56 now, and we've got global visual improvements. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I've been in the game a little while, and yeah, looks great to me.
I need to, so I change my graphic settings based on what I'm doing, because when I'm sorting inventory, in my basement, and I have all these containers that are full that I'm constantly opening and closing. I just like to pop over to fastest settings, and so I'll play in that mode a long time. And then if I'm going out adventuring and just enjoying the game in general, then I'll change back over to best. And since this release, I haven't changed back over to best to take a look. So I definitely need to put that on the agenda.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, good plan. Yeah. But we've got the usual game development and news announcements and things and updates. So first up on the list is playing Release 56 now. You notice they had a bit of a rocky start to the update.
Yeah, I saw the post on that, and it was a late day for me.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I said, "Well, I'm glad because I wasn't even out of bed till after it happened, and they fixed it and they did the rollback and all that. And I saw that, and I said, well, I'm glad I got a late start today."
Yes. Yeah, likewise. We'd been out that evening because the son and daughter-in-law were going out to a show and asked us if we could look after the little one. So we went over to their place and put her to bed and just sort of hung out for a while. Then they came home, we came home. It was about 11:30 by then, our time, which was, of course, just the time that the new release opened. So I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll, jump on, see what's happening. So I did. I jumped on, got out of my basement, up on deck, onto the dock, ran it to the devotionals, got a couple of blessings, then got the message, the service closing in 5 minutes. That's really, really great.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a lesson from that, though, that on release days, to make sure that in the first few hours, first maybe 4-6 hours or so, to make sure whatever I'm doing isn't going to be detrimental if they do have to do a rollback.
Yes.
Because I just, if I'm in there and I lost some XP or whatever, it's going to be like, that's too bad. It happens. Man, if I'm in there and I just sorted 3 containers of inventory into other inventory and that rolls back, I'll be like, oh, what have I done? Where did I leave off at? How do I figure out what I need to redo? So it could be, it could be a really bad thing for me. So I'm going to take a lesson from that. Just pad that time a little bit. Don't do anything that if it gets lost for that first few hours, then I'm going to want to jump out of a second or a 20-story window over.
Yes. That's probably a good thing to think about and to do.
Yeah,
because
absolutely jump in, check it out, play, but man, don't do anything that's going to be
nothing critical.
Nothing critical for the first few hours, at least, I think.
That's right. Yes.
That's what I'm going to walk away from this as.
Yeah. Because let's face it, every month they put out a new version and they work so hard. You got to believe it, that they really bust their backsides. And
I was digging the music.
Yeah, great. Okay. So, yeah.
Well, I've never played an online game yet that at some point didn't have to do a rollback of a few hours, or whatever. That's, it happens. It's happened in every game I've ever played. But
that's right.
We haven't really had that many of them in Shroud, and so I kind of forgot about the whole possibility of rollbacks.
That's exactly right. And look, it happens. And every time you build a new version, there's bound to be some bugs or stuff in it. And it's almost a tradition. By the time you get the second or third patch after a new release, it's running pretty well. And it's mostly bug-free. So, that was fun. But, hey, they came good and they said, look, sorry about that. You got an extra day of double XP.
I was having a weird one today. I kept locking up at the crafting station when I went to salvage. I'd throw on a bunch of salvage items, hit salvage, go down and see, one of 14. That's it. I'd sit there for 5 minutes and I couldn't get nothing to respond. I was able to exit the game though and go back in, and it was. It did that to me 2 or 3 times. I'm going to have to play around and see if it says, if I can get that to replicate a few times and then do a bug report on it. But
now you want the good news?
What's that? It's already been reported?
Yep, there's a new patch out. I just downloaded it this morning. And in the patch notes, it said they fixed a bug concerning the crafting tables.
Okay.
Of when you got more than 15 items.
Okay. Excellent. Good. I don't have to worry about it.
No, that's right. So it looks as if it's been done.
You saved me some work.
There you go. Let me look it up.
But yeah, that's one of those minor things that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can exit out and resume back in.
Here we go.
Not the end of the room.
Yeah, it says they fixed a bug that caused the crafting stations to hang while batch salvaging 15 items.
Gotcha. Well, there you go.
There you go. So it is fixed. It works.
Fantastic.
Nice. There's one thing I really hope they fixed.
What's that?
Down in the Exeter Crag mines, they're talking about these ether liches and ether dragons and stuff like that. Apparently in the QA, there was an ether lich. down on level 4 in the Exeter Crag mines, where Lord Nyrond, the Unseen, hangs out with a mage. Now he's carrying 1,200 hit points.
Yeah, that'll take a little while.
It'll take a while, but I can actually do him. He's all right. Yeah. But you sort of really have to do those guys before you can get down to level 4. Well, now apparently there was another Lich with 12,000 hit points, which is a bit rude.
Yeah.
Especially if the mines are solo.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a bit of a thread going in the forum, and there's a link to some discussion on the QA server. Star said they'd taken it out, but apparently they haven't taken it out yet.
Gotcha.
So I hope they do take it out, because
we'll get to it.
Yeah. I mean, having a 12,000 HP mob in an area that you have to traverse solo, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's hope that gets done. But apart from that, well, I launched. Lots of backers downloading, packing, patching, logging in. They got global visual improvements. They got performance improvements. I think it's running better. Tons of bug fixing, which is good news. There's more unicorn components. There's the polish of the user interface. Apparently, if you've had mail sitting in your letterbox for a long time, it'll just expire and whatever it is will go to your bank. So that's all right. You can sort your friends list. They've got these ether creatures that we were talking about. The side quests, the Atavists of Purity and Shooter Jennings. That Shooter Jennings quest is a good one.
Yeah.
Yep. I've actually just done that.
Nice.
Yep.
How long did it take you overall?
Oh, about an hour or so.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yes. Except I had fun doing it, because they take you around various cities and locations on the map. And to get from one place to another, this is a story on myself, it was convenient to go down through Superstition Canyon. I thought, okay, I'll be a bit brave here. So I entered the gate, and there were a few archers and stuff, and they're carrying around 300-400 or so hit points. And I cleaned their clocks pretty easily. And then thought, okay, this is good. Nobody else is coming. I think I'll move on. Ran out the gate. And the surroundings didn't look as familiar as they should. I realised that I'd got turned around. I'd entered via the north gate and left via the north gate.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. So I thought, damn it, stupid you. So I'll just go back again. I'll go through again. But by this time, they'd phoned up all their friends. And they didn't have 400 or 500 hit points now. They had about 1,400. And there were a few of them. And ferocious red spiders. And all of that.
Yeah.
So I just died a few times and carried on. But, yeah, it's a good quest, good fun. And, yeah, I had a little bit of trouble on the final phase of the quest. Eventually got it to work with a bit of jiggling. But I noticed in the last patch note that fixed that as well.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I'll try to get it in before then, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's good. So we got Obsidian Trials happening. I'll have to have a go at that. That could be good. They've adjusted up some tiers. They got more recipes, as you were saying. Decorations. We got craftable elven furniture, heraldry throne and round table. Testing incentive winners for the R55 QA, and Lot D raffle winners and more. Okay. As always, they say check out the Release 56 instructions, because stuff changes every month. So have a look at that. And there's the player instructions. There's a link to them there. There's some known issues. Okay, it's still not 100% functional, but it's working much better. And there's a few player comments here. Coeur d'Alene says, whoa, this is a lot of stuff. Great work. Stevo Devo says, it's a really cool monthly update. A+. Have you guys slept at all? And Non-Aware says, wow, that before and after pic of the visual improvements. Talking about the visual improvements, they have a few screenshots in the news here. They've said, we've started overhauling some of our global systems to dramatically improve the visual quality throughout the game. Now, the main focus is on shadows. There you go.
Yeah, I'm holding it up here.
Terrific. Screen share, brilliant.
I'm going to go back to here, though. This is your before and your afters.
That's right. So they're talking about shadows and lighting and full screen visual effects. Now, many of the changes won't arrive till 57. A few of them have made their way into R56, including improvements to distant shadows in the 2 top quality modes. So to see the difference, just toggle between good and best in an outdoor scene. So there you go. And well, you can see on screen now, those who are watching us, the between the before and after shots.
Yeah, quite a bit of difference.
Yeah, it is. It is. So they're really refining it up. It's great. And then moving along to the path scenes, the colour there looks a lot richer. The town scenes, colours are a lot more defined and sharper. So I think, yeah, they've definitely done a lot of work there.
There we go.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
So there you see the animated contrast between the before and after. Very nice. So whatever they've done, it's working very well. Okay, next item is the R56 live stream, which is on August the 3rd. And it's going to have a Cosmos theme.
That's cool.
Yeah, very nice. It's August the 3rd, as we say, from 3 to 7 p.m. Central. And it will be viewable on Twitch. So, as they say, all avatars around the world, welcome to join us in the live stream activities, doing deep dives, answering questions, sales, handing out prizes, tracking towards stretch goals. Now, at the suggestion of one of our players, namely Redfish, the theme is Cosmos, in honour of the comet, which is making its closest approach during release 56. So all of the items will prominently display our sun magic, moon magic, or some other celestial symbol-like stars. So that's pretty good. And the schedule, as usual, well, introductions at 3 o'clock. We got a deep dive about player-owned towns. 4:30 there's a Q&A, which is including more goodies about episode 2. At 5:30, there's a deep dive, combat with bosses. If you want to know how to do it, or maybe how not to do it, be there and be watching. I cannot imagine engaging some of these creatures with less than a 4-man party. Really. I've tried, and I've even tried some of the Obsidian Kabbalists.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did I try the other day? Honestly, it's so discouraging, because I can clean up a siege pretty easily now. Mm-hmm. And then the Kabbalist comes along, and this was the guy who casts confusion on you. Oh, that's just evil.
Gotta have a lot of smelling salts, Andy.
I was using smelling salts, but they weren't enough. They weren't quick enough. And you just get blocked into a corner. You don't know which way to go. And you end up dying horribly. Okay, then there's some more Q&A and ending announcements. Right, stretch goals. They are cosmic themed. As usual, as the bonus, all you have to do is make a minimum purchase of $5 during this 12-hour window, and you get all of these lovely themes. So for 10,000, there's a Sunburst Aerial combo, replenishing box of fireworks. Nice. For 25,000, a Sun Symbol Sparkler and Moon Symbol Sparkler, box of fireworks. For 35,000, a Cloak, Sun Magic and Moon Magic symbols. 50K, there's Pavers, also carrying the Sun Symbol and Moon Symbol. 65K, a Staff with the Sun and Moon symbol. Nice. 80K, a Moon, Sun and Stars clock tower. Now that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
90K Sun symbol bow and a Moon symbol crossbow. Okay, I'll have one of those. Thanks very much. Very nice. And for 100, celestial themed wizard robes.
That would be,
yeah. Oh, I know one or two wizards who love that. Great.
Baldrith comes to mind.
Absolutely. That's right. He's been wanting wizard robes for a long time. Okay, and as usual, for every 2,500 contributed, all the devs have to do something crazy. Dance, sing, perform, whatever. 12 hours of sales. So from midday to midnight on the day, items will be on sale at approximately 20% off. So you're looking at Viking bundles, Obsidian bundles, Kobold bundles, Elven Shogun bundles, Make a Difference, home decorations, outdoor decorations, lot deeds, POT upgrades, homes and basements, pets and music, emotes and fireworks and dyes and patterns. All of that on sale, 20% off for the 12 hours. And they all count towards the stretch goals. So that's awesome.
No spears, though. They need to show the spears some more love.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, how do you find spears to fight with? They're good value?
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I use a dual hand, though, so I'm using two of them.
Oh, yes, yes, nice.
You know, if you're just going like spear and shield, I'm not sure.
Yep.
I like them as a dual wield, though. I got
one.
Let me grab a spear.
Yeah, sure.
I'll grab a spear.
Terrific.
Here we go. One spear coming up.
Now that looks ferocious.
Yes, that would do somebody in.
Absolutely. Gee, I wouldn't like to be on the pointy end of that. Ouch.
I got this at it's got a dragon on it. I got this at a event one time. Both ends actually on this one.
Wow.
You know, we need something that looks like that in game.
Yeah, we do. Yes. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Love it. Okay, well, there you go. Spears. And you can win prizes, signed cloth maps, observatory village home. That'd be nice to win.
Yeah, it would.
Lovely. A large ornate telescope and ornate hourglass and ornate tabletop moondial, an ornate moondial, a village moondial, a keep moondial, an ornate clock tower. Gee, you could win some good stuff here. A complete clock set, a wall clock set, Sun Magic Sign 9-pack and Moon Magic Sign 9-pack, and a Sparkle Dies mega pack. So they're giving away prizes every hour, with many given away multiple times. Here we are. There's an update. Now, you don't necessarily have to be on Discord to win a prize. This is good. You can enter by either logging into the game and typing, "The sky is falling." So if you're in game and just type into the chat, "The sky is falling," there you go, you'll be entered. Or you can purchase any item from the store during the live stream. So that's great. And submit questions as usual. They'll be answering as many as they can. The usual rules apply. Just for those who haven't heard them before, they don't want more than 3 questions because they can't answer that many. If you've got a question about bugs, put that in the bug forum. If you want to know when is something coming, then please refer to the schedule because it will be there. And if you want to write a whole paragraph or half a page, then please don't bother. It'll take far too long to read out. So keep it short and brief, succinct, and they'll be able to answer it. Okay, final thought. They do see a lot of repeat questions. Please take the time to review other previous live streams because your question may well have been answered already. Okay. The next item is the R56 dance party. This is from a forum post by Elaine Dragonfire. Avatars Radio is presenting by Royal Warrant the Release 56 dance party with DJ Darkstar. This is on Thursday, July 31st at 2 to 4 p.m. at Celestis Canton. This is a nested POT. It's inside Paxlair. So you have to go to Paxlair first.
I've been there before. Both places.
Oh, great. Oh, nice. Nice place?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Lovely. Okay. So, and there's a little ditty here. It says, we can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind because your friends don't dance. And if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. I say we can go where we want to, a place where they'll never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind, and we can dance. That looks like it's from Men Without Hats. Okay, very nice. So, the directions, how do you get there? You go due west of Brittany, on the southern coast of Spindrift Bay, on the banks of the Brishark River. Now, once you're inside Paxlair, head to the bridge by the main square. That's the big paved area by the water, and look for the POT connections. There's a wagon there. So if you see a wagon, your little pointer will light up, and if it says Celestis Canton, you've got it. And that's how you get there. So remember that, the Release 56 dance party, and DJ Darkstar is spinning the music. So that's going to be great to get to. Okay, next item is the Release 55 live stream, part 2 final results, and YouTube. It's up on YouTube now. So if you missed it, there it is. It's available. The final result of the live stream was over $86,000. Actually, $86,735. That's an awesome total.
Wish we could have bumped up a little bit more to at least hit that 90K. We were close.
We were very close. Yeah.
The halberd. Again, no spears.
I know. Yeah. Breaks your heart. But they said thank you very much to the players, to the dev team. And it was another example of your amazing support and contributions. So what did we achieve? Well, everybody who contributed at least $5 will get all of this. You get the replenishing box of fireworks, the blue, yellow, red, and silver, and the Silver Serpent Crackle aerial combo. There's a Lord British Silver Serpent wand, Lord British pavers, a Lord British round table, a large telescope. Great stuff. That's nice. Now, of course, they're going to go away and make these now, so they mightn't show up for a little while, but they will be on the way. You will find them in your bank eventually. Okay. And as I said, if you missed the live stream, there's the link to it in the newscast. You can view it anytime you like and listen to all their good stuff. Okay, the next item is the Shooter Jennings album release party. I think this one is also going to break the servers because the last one pretty much did. It's going to be awesome, and it's getting a lot of publicity, so I think they're going to get good crowds to it. I really hope they do.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's on July the 31st at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, don't forget that this is game time, so whatever part of the world you live in, make the adjustment. Don't be late. It's at Ordinus Mortis, player-owned town. Right. You are invited to another historic album premiere inside the realm of Shroud of the Avatar. Rolling Stone lists this latest album, Shooter, which releases on August 10, as one of the most anticipated albums of 2018. This is going to be great publicity for the game as well. For his latest album, the follow-up to his adventurous tribute to Giorgio Moroder, Countach for Giorgio, country rock electronica mad scientist Shooter Jennings looked to his outlaw lineage, cutting an album of stripped-down classic country in the vein of his dad Waylon and one of his heroes, Hank Williams Jr. He also returned to where it all began, re-teaming with Dave Cobb, who produced Jennings' 2005 debut, Put the O Back in Country, the first album the Grammy-winning Cobb ever produced too. Simply titled Shooter, the LP will be released sometime this year via Cobb's Low Country sound imprint on Elektra. Says Jennings, it's the most country album I've ever done. And I know a few people in-game who love country music, so I think this is going to go down well. The event will kick off through a series of quests that will appear in Release 56. And yeah, having experienced them, I can tell you that they are actually quite fun and they're not difficult at all. So this is awesome. And it involves wandering around the countryside, talking to a series of people and getting some information. Okay, it goes live on July 26. Well, it is. The quests will lead to the party at 7 inside Shroud of the Avatar in the player-owned town of Ordinus Mortis. Now, the first players to collect the clues and finish the quest will receive prizes from Shooter himself. So if you know the answer to the riddle or to the statement or the phrase, whatever, and you can say that to Shooter Jennings, it looks like you'll be getting a prize, which is rather nice. They include exclusive items with Shooter's heraldry in the game. There are wax cylinders with songs from his new album, and there's framed art of Shooter's heraldry that you can decorate your home with. So it's all really worthwhile getting, if you can get into the scene with the other 200 people. At the party, you get an advanced listen to the new album, among other festivities. And there we have a picture of his heraldry on the wall. Looks appropriately impressive and spooky. So there you go. How would you like to have that decorating your home?
Definitely depends on the home. If I can get over to the... There we go.
Yay. There it is. Awesome. Brilliant. Love it. Okay.
I like that better.
Yes, that one is a lovely one. I have that one.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a fantastic picture. Okay, he has a long history with Shroud. It started when he decided to have the world premiere of his album Countach in the game a couple of years ago. And as he said about the event, well, having created a system where you can not only listen to streaming radio inside the game, but also having the ability to collect wax cylinders with audio stored on them, which you can play on in-game phonographs, seemed like a no-brainer to be able to share music inside Shroud of the Avatar. So I suggested we do a listening party in the game. One news outlet called it arguably the weirdest gaming event of all time. Okay, that's fair. I'll admit to being weird. He followed that up by donating wax cylinders of the album cover art, and other items to the Breast Cancer Make a Difference store. So obviously a really caring, top quality guy as well. He backed up this charitable work by donating items to and participating in a Think Pink streamathon to raise funds for breast cancer, which raised over $8,000. He played our launch event this March at the Bob Bullock Museum. So join our longtime friend and collaborator for another night to remember on July 31 at 7 p.m. Central and hear the new album Shooter. So that's an open invitation. Please be there if you possibly can. It's going to be seriously fun. All right, we have another item, the rewards program. They've introduced that, which looks like a great thing. I hope a lot of people are taking it up. They're launching the rewards program. You can earn the best rate on purchasing gold crowns and receive all the stretch goal items from the monthly live stream. This means you don't have to worry about whether you're around for the live stream, whether you remember to log in, whether you remember to buy something, because it's happened to everybody. Missed the live stream, so didn't get all those cool rewards. So if you're interested and prepared to support the game for $9 a month, which is really a few cups of coffee, you will receive the following. You get 9 gold crowns of the Obsidians every month, an exclusive title every 3 months, you can pick any die pack every 6 months, and any 3 Obsidian potions every month. And let me tell you, those potions are really, really handy. They really make a difference. So well worth it. For just $9 a month, you're supporting the game, you're guaranteed enrollment in all of the live streams, and you'll automatically get all the rewards. So that is a win-win situation to me.
Yeah, I signed up.
Good on you. Okay, Lord British double birthday XP weekends. Oh, they're nearly finished. But take advantage of it while it is still here. In June and July, in celebration of Lord British's birthday on July the 4th, avatars will be earning double XP, adventure and production every weekend through the end of July. So being the weekend, it's happening again. So whatever you get out there and do, whether it's adventuring, whether it's crafting, those XP numbers are going to roll up like crazy. And it's a great time to do anything. Okay. And next item, there's a weekend flash sale. And this weekend, well, they're talking music in celebration of Shooter Jennings' release party. So all musical items are on sale this weekend, including the Countach items in the Breast Cancer Make a Difference store. Yeah, and there's a whole lot of them. Okay.
My daughter would love that if she played Shroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, she collects instruments.
Oh, really? She has a musical bent?
I bought her a theremin with a portable amp for her birthday just a couple months ago.
Nice.
Yeah, no, she plays them all. She started with violin, and she's been playing violin for I don't know, 4 or 6 years. And
wow.
Then she started picking up. It was kind of a collecting thing. She just started collecting them, and so she starts playing them. And yeah, I couldn't even tell you how many instruments she has now. It's quite a few. She's got a saxophone that's an alien, I think. or maybe it's I don't know. She's got some weird. The weirder they are, the more she likes them.
Wow, fantastic.
But yeah, she hadn't heard of a theremin, so I got her a theremin.
What is a theremin?
Theremin's one of those things that's like a little box with an antenna coming out, and your hands actually you just move them like this, and it captures the way you move them and how fast.
Oh yes.
How close you are to the antenna will change the sounds.
Nice, nice. Okay, she obviously has musical talent, and that's wonderful. Great. I've always said that there are two ways to play a violin, and that's beautifully and dreadfully. I love this.
I told her for what holiday did I tell her? I told her for Christmas this year. Me and several people were pitching in, and we were going to get her a whole band of instruments within a certain theme, and she got all excited. And I said, "Yeah, such and such is getting you the jug. I'm going to get you one of those big long metal saw." It's gonna get you. They're gonna get you a little tin can.
Yo, wicked. Good on you. Okay, upcoming events. Right, there's a dance party, as we've said, on July the 31st. Also, the Shooter Jennings album release party. Just in case you weren't listening 10 minutes ago. There you go. Here it is. August the 3rd is the Release 56 live stream. August 10 to 11 is SindCon. August 21 to 25 is Gamescom. August the 30th is Release 57. August 30 to September 3 is DragonCon. September 7 is the Release 57 live stream. September 27 is Release 58. So it keeps going. October the 5th is Release 58 live stream. October 11 to 13 is SotaCon in Austin. Get to that if you can. October 25, Release 59. November 2, the Release 59 live stream. November 15, Release 60. I wonder how many releases we'll eventually get up to. Because it's just going to keep going, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. November 30 or December 7, release the 60 live stream. December the 13th, release 61, and a bit of a break for Christmas. So either December 21st or January the 4th, release 61 live stream. Very nice. There is a community calendar, just for those who don't know. Hopefully not too many, but there is a link to it there. There's a community calendar. That's listed there is all a great lineup of activities that this community has. And there is also a release events thread in the forum. This isn't just a game that you play solo or you run around thinking, okay, this is a community. And there's seriously lots of things happening. Okay. Next item, this is a developing story. The Grand Duke event and a PvP tournament. Those of you who've been faithfully following us, all 6 of you, will notice.
Wait, you paid someone and you didn't tell me?
Yeah, I've been paying people to listen. Okay. This has been an unfolding story for the last couple of weeks, and it's a forum post by Ceres. So let's go through it again. Chapter 1, the Grand Duke and the Visitor. A Grand Duke, a noble man, someone with high standards. He has always been a man of great wealth. It is said that there were times when he walked through the streets of towns across New Britannia, scattering gold and obsidian crowns to show off his wealth. Some folks saw him as a generous man and loved him for that, while others envied him for his riches or even loathed him for his apparent arrogance. Recently, a mysterious traveller visited him in his domain. The traveller apparently sought to do business with him, a trade of a special kind. Okay, Chapter 2, the deal. The Grand Duke made a deal and obtained some land deeds from the mysterious traveller. To his surprise, the traveller didn't ask for a single coin. "Thou canst hold these deeds for free," he spoke, "but thou must do something for me in return." Some of the deeds were not to remain with the wealthy man. Instead, they were to be given to the strongest and fiercest avatars in New Britannia. And now it was the Duke's task to find them, those worthy few, and he accepted the task without further argument. And here we have the final installment, Chapter 3, The Grand Duke's Tournament. A noble envoy was sent out to spread the Duke's announcement. "Hear ye, the Grand Duke generously announces that he is willing to give away 3 of his precious land deeds to noble and strong avatars, but not just any avatars, only those who can truly show their muster. The Grand Duke is therefore organising a tournament in which avatars shall compete against each other in teams, and he will reward the victorious groups of avatars for their strength and glory. This event is organised by Portalarium and Travian Games and supported by members of the Shroud of the Avatar community. No purchases are necessary. The Grand Duke hereby announces the rules for the big tournament to find the strongest avatars of New Britannia, as requested by the mysterious traveller. Okay, so the tournament setting is, this event is made for groups of 5, so it's party-based PvP. The matches will take place in a 5 versus 5 setting. The tournament will take place if at least 8 teams submit. Okay, so we're going to have 8 teams to make it work. Avatars of all adventure levels are encouraged to participate. If sufficient teams of different adventurer levels apply, separate leagues like high level, mid-level and low level might be created with adjusted prizes so they can accommodate different levels of experience. That's encouraging. Don't think you necessarily have to be a demigod to apply for this. I must admit I'm a bit cautious, but there you go. All right, now this depends on the number of participating teams as well as the variety of adventurer levels. Exact details such as schedules, leagues and pairings will be announced once the registration period is closed. So, look, it makes sense. People have to apply, they'll assess the level of interest, they'll assess how many people they've got, and then they'll say, okay, this looks as if it's going to work, this is fantastic, now let's work out a timetable. The procedure is thus. It will begin with qualification matches, so group games. Each team will fight at least 2 matches before either being eliminated or proceeding to the next rounds. Those qualification matches will take place in an arena. The location is to be disclosed on Saturday, August the 4th at 1 p.m. Central. The matches will take place on several days, probably on weekends, and in different locations. All locations provide space and facilities for spectators to watch and cheer for their teams. The final matches, a KO system, including the grand final with the 2 best teams, will take place on the weekend of August 10 to 12. Now, the exact times and locations will be announced after the qualification rounds. The Grand Duke and his associate, the mysterious traveller, will be there to congratulate the winning team. So then we get to find out who this mysterious traveller is. I wonder if it's Lord British himself. But there we go. Now, the participation requirements are thus. You have to get together a team of 5 warriors. Each player can participate in 1 team only. I mean, you might be the best PvPer in the whole game, but that doesn't mean you can support 6 teams. 1 team only, please. Now, as an option during the tournament, all teams and the score status will be published on the Shroud community platforms. We'd like to display your team with your individual team emblem. If you like that idea, fine. Use the Blazon Builder to create an individual blazon for your team and send a capture of that emblem to Ceres or Catla or Icas or Menja. Now, this isn't mandatory. If you want to do it, fantastic. You don't have to. Right. Once you have your team of 5 champions, register your team here. And that word here is a little link. So you'll have to look up the news release and check the link and register your team. For the winning team, what do you get out of all this apart from glory and fame? You get a tax-free city lot deed in a player-owned town. That's well worth getting. That's awesome. You get a heraldry cloak eternal pattern for each team member. So you can wear a cloak signifying your glory and fame, and 45 crowns of the obsidians for each team member. So that's pretty significant. For second place, you get a town lot deed and the heraldry cloaks and 19 kotos for each team member. For third place, there's a village lot deed and cloaks and 9 kotos for everybody. There are rules, of course. Each match will be overseen by at least one Shroud staff member. Portalarium and Travian Games may disqualify any member or team for fraud attempts, bug exploits, use of third-party software, and or breach of community rules. So play fair, play honest, and don't try to cheat or do anything. Let's have fun and make it clean. As they say, let's go into your corners, come out fighting clean, no sucker or rabbit punches, and may the best man win. Every team and warrior may use any gear or item during the battle. Each team can appoint one standby warrior as a substitute in case one of the team members is unable to attend a match, so you can have a reserve. If multiple team members are unable to attend, you can still proceed with a reduced number of warriors. It doesn't help your chances, but you can carry on. All right, the search for the strongest avatars of Nervia has started. May the best team win. Good luck, avatars. That is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of people will be interested in that. And in similar vein, well, the Grand Duke event sale in support of this tournament, all dyes and heraldry wearable items are on sale, so your team can show their colours and possibly a team sigil. The sale will be from July 27 through August 10. And wow, okay, all right, a lot of stuff is on sale. Heraldry patterns of every kind, dyes of almost every colour. Yeah, so there you go. If you want patterns, if you want dyes, they're all on sale right up until August the 10th. So get to the add-on store and get yourself looking fabulous. Right, another post for the welcome quest in release 56. This is from a forum post by Duke Gregor. You're invited to join the welcome quest, release 56, held on Saturday, July 28th, 2018, starting at 12 noon Central Time, New Britannian time, and lasting an hour. It's on the Avatar Circle community calendar for easy time zone conversion, plus it's in your in-game events book. Gregor Pendragon will be active 30 minutes before the event and during this event. We're travelling to the town of Ruckbaer Platz, nested in central Brittany and Brittany Alleys. Are you with us? So, look, as we know, this welcome quest is one that's been running like forever.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the earliest quests still going.
It is. And Duke Gregor does a wonderful job. It's for people to see many towns and establishments. There's so much in the game now. You really have little chance of seeing it all. It's created as a way for people to visit many player-ran locations. It involves each town and establishment to give the quest person some information and then instructions to go to the next location to do something. It might be sequential or in parallel to multiple places at the same time. The goal is for towns and establishments to showcase their places, educate the people, and work with other player-run towns and establishments. We are proud to be the first player-run quest in Shroud of the Avatar. We do it for all of you. That's a fantastic testimonial. And there's more information in the SOTA wiki. They are that famous that they've found their way into the wiki. Now, there are changes to the welcome torch. With release 38, all torches changed physically. The durability started to decrease when the torch is held onto. The change also affected the welcome torch, but from release 41 on, you can now repair it. All you need is a carpentry repair kit and a carpentry table, so you can repair it just like any other carpentry item. And let me tell you, I am repairing my bow all the time. That's the biggest thing that wears out, a lot more than my armor.
I carry repair kits on me and just drop them all the time.
Yeah, you absolutely need to. I guess as an archer, I managed to stay away from people a lot. That's the aim of the game, is to avoid being hit at all.
And that cuts down on the damage. Yep.
Yep, that's right. Okay, so next item. They are still advertising. You can win a pair of SOTACon 2018 tickets. This is from the Moretz people, who give us all these lovely potions from their Moretz app. And that's great. I love it. So if you enroll with them, get the app, you can enter daily for a chance to win. Now, once a week, a winner will be drawn for a custom SOTACon t-shirt that looks pretty good all on its own through June, July, and August. All entries count towards the grand prize. There will be a grand prize drawing in September for a pair of SOTACon tickets and a pair of custom t-shirts. So there we go. You can enter every day. Or you can watch lunch with Laz and Jack daily for additional entries, as well as chances they give you a chance to win a weekly prize of a custom t-shirt. Very nice. Okay, project to support their advertising Avatars Radio this week. Avatars Radio is a great project. Again, community sourced. Ron, you had a part in this, didn't you?
Yeah, I was Amber Rain and I originally partnered up, and originally Avatars Radio was New Britannia Radio. And that just for a short time, it was kind of almost an insert name here until we really figure out what we want to call it. And I helped her with it initially, did a little bit of promotion and that sort of thing. And then she got the website up with some help and some other things. And then I left the project to work on some other things, but then it stayed in that kind of relationship with her cross between, you know, Echoes from the Caverns and New Britannia Theater Troupe and all that. But yeah, I have the honor of being a founding figure.
Terrific.
At least for a while.
Great. Yes. It's a wonderful initiative. It's a community-run and community-funded radio station founded by community member Amber Rain. They air plays, music, sermons, speeches, and they organise the monthly release dance parties. You can listen to Avatars Radio on their website or through one of the ether amplifiers inside Shroud of the Avatar. Consider helping this community endeavour by supporting their Patreon. And yes, I'm proud to say that I support their Patreon as well, because I reckon they're well worthwhile.
I remember when Amber and I first started talking about Avatars Radio, and we talked about, oh, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, it did this and it did that, and you had this and this. And, you know, anytime you go into a project like that, you always have all these different ideas that you would like to eventually see, but it rarely ever goes that way. Not to say it goes badly, it can still end up being a great project, but you might have envisioned doing these three things, and instead you're doing these three things, you know, But with Avatars Radio, it's really, really amazing because even when it was just Amber and I kind of shooting some messages back and forth privately in the forums, talking about, you know, some things I envisioned and some things she envisioned and that sort of thing. Avatars Radio really ended up being, I think, pretty much what both Amber and I talked about in a lot of ways. So that's kind of unique from a project standpoint. It ended up being what you envisioned at the start almost. So.
That is amazing. And yeah, it is wonderful how it's developed. It's developed out of the community, by the community, for the love of the community and for the love of the game.
Well, even the broadcasters in game were, you know, that programming and that code was developed by the community.
It was. That's right.
It was given to Portalarium by the community. Said, hey, we really want this. So some of us came together and coded it, and here you go.
Yeah, that's right. That is fantastic. And they say here, this station was created with the love of our community members and fellow citizens in Lord British Richard Garriott's New World, Shroud of the Avatar. Our dream desire is to serve and share simply by airing community's work through the Moon Towers. We have an open welcoming of all submissions from our community. Talented musicians, be it instrumental, vocal or mixer, poets, designers of station identification and other sound bites, or perhaps you have the face and voice for radio and would like to try your turn behind the desk as a DJ. This station shall always welcome the creative works of the community, weighed over that of earthly.
And I gotta imagine it's hard keeping those DJ slots filled.
Yeah. That would be actually, when I stop to think about it, quite a lot of work. Because when you have to have a pretty extensive music library yourself, and then you're sitting down planning a 2 or 3 hour set. Then, well, okay, what music am I going to play for my next 3 hour set? You get it all organized from your library, select it, make sure it fits a theme, slot them in one after the other, make sure the timing's right. So I reckon a lot of prep work would go in. Well, not just the couple of hours you're on air.
Paid software that they use that helps with a lot of that. But yeah, I'm sure there's still quite a bit of pre-work and prep work to do.
That's right, yes. And it's the commitment, it's the dedication to committing a few hours or more of your time every week, twice a week, whatever, for the service of the community. Yeah. So fantastic. And lovely picture of the big ether amplifier there. As you say, that technology was created by the community itself.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, resources, players helping players. Well, we got the new player welcome forum, the player created resources forum. They have the best gear and written guide, walkthrough, or a wiki website. And there is a community resources page for a complete listing of all things community. Excellent. That would just about be the end of the news for the week.
Fantastic. I don't think I have anything special this week to really bring up. With the release being Thursday, I think the community's been a lot more focused this last week and getting excited about that, as opposed to me seeing anything out there to really spotlight that jumped out at me.
Fair enough.
Kind of quiet. Well, I've seen some good articles, you know, that have been out there as far as, you know, the R56 updates. MMORPG put one out.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yep. Well, I noticed a couple of items in the forum this week that I think would be worth a comment. There were a couple of threads, and as you know, this is a game that's sort of the spiritual successor of the Ultima series and UO, and people have come into it with expectations. And some people expected something like Ultima, with a storyline and a quest and a goal and whatever. Some people expected Ultima 10. Some people expected UO 2. And, well, of course it didn't happen because it's not the same. It's not Ultimate 10. It's not UO. It's something by the same team. And I can see that it has a lot of similarities. It is by the same person. And to me, it's like if you have a favorite author, like George R.R. Martin or like Frederick Forsyth, and they write another book, and you go out and buy it, and you think, but George R.R. Martin is not talking about the Game of Thrones universe. Oh dear. Or Frederick Forsyth, this isn't a Cold War spy story. No, but it's the same style.
You know, it's funny you throw out that example because I'll sit in here and get in an argument with you about George R.R. Martin's Ace's Wild universe. His superhero universe series is a lot better than Game of Thrones. It was written.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, he's written a lot of other stuff, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit for some of his other series, which are very innovative and very good.
Gee, you know, I hadn't even heard of that.
Oh yeah, he's got it's 10 books, 8 books. It's pretty lengthy.
Wow.
And I read all that stuff long before he even did Game of Thrones. And it's just like he gets no credit for anything prior to Game of Thrones, and it's like, man, this man has been putting out books left and right for years. He just finally gets noticed. Why is no one going back and seeing what else he's done and talking about it? Because he has done some other fantastic work, and people just don't even realize. So when you threw that out as an example, I'm like, oh great, here we go, side topic.
Terrific. Well, hey, why not? So his early work is really good, and it's similar style.
I like it.
There you go. All right. So look, if we're buying into a game that's by Richard Garriott and team, you know that it's going to have similar elements. You know that the philosophies are going to be similar. You know that there'll be an ethos. You know there'll be a value system. You know there'll be virtues. But it's not the same game. It's going to be a new game. It's going to be different. And I remember Ultima 7. I remember all the other games. They were fantastic. And they had storylines. And they had quests. And you guided along the quest. And you come to the conclusion. You've completed the quest. And what happens then? The credits roll. Because that's the end of the game. You can't do any more.
Well, that's when you fire it back up and start looking for Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. But in a multiplayer game, there is no end. And you can't do that. So you have to do something different. And I think in this particular game, what they've done, for me, it's a reasonable compromise. There are a series of quests, virtue-based. You get a reward. You get a shroud to advertise that you've done the quest. The shroud is appropriately colored depending on your virtue, and then the game continues. And it's an MMO. It's just a continuous game, so they can't switch the game off when you're finished. So it's quite different.
So
now
you mentioned the shroud being appropriate color.
Yes.
You know, we have a new item as of last release in the game, which is the unicorns, and sometimes they'll drop a unicorn horn.
Yes.
And
okay.
You can craft the unicorn horn either as a dagger or a spear.
Right.
And the relationship of the person's virtue wielding it is much like someone wearing the shroud. You know, the stats and buffs the weapon that you end up crafting will be reflective of your virtue. Now, I happened to get a few unicorn horns, and so I went ahead and I made some spears. And you know, I'm getting ready to put a pair of light unicorn horns, white unicorns, the good ones, you know.
Okay. Yes.
On the light unicorn, you're getting bad karma.
Right.
So I put a pair of those in the Stile's box with Oddjob, my other character, you know, for Stile to pick up later because Oddjob does my crafting. And I hesitated and I said, wait a minute. And see, I was giving him light unicorn horns because he's a light avatar. Where on the other hand, actually, Oddjob would, he would be the one out there killing those light unicorns. And and as I'm doing that, I said, wait a minute, stop. So does Stile want to use light unicorn spears when he's a follower of the light, which means he's basically using the horn chopped off of a good unicorn?
That's right. You need to think about that.
Yeah. So then I'm like, well, which way is it? So I had to do a comparison with one of the characters, and I had to have them check to see if it's the reverse of what you would think initially, and it's not. If you're light, if you're white, if you're the good guy, the hero,
sure. Yes.
Then you want to use the light unicorn horns. That's where you get all your bonuses. If you put the black ones on, all of a sudden you're getting negatives because it doesn't match up with you.
Really?
But at the same time, that's a bit of a paradox because here you are going around supporting the killing of light unicorns to equip yourself.
So what if you kill light unicorns?
Well, you would lose
karma or virtue. Yeah.
You're depending on basically the black market. You got to pay these dastardly vile people out there to harvest unicorn horns for you for your weapons.
Right. But once you've done that, and once you've paid the black market, and got underlings, you're clean.
You're clean. That's your escape hole. You take a karma hit, you get good weapons, and you're supporting killing the light unicorns. Apparently.
Oh, love it.
I wonder if they've thought about all that, and Lord British knows, because I mean that's his virtue system. I bet he'd really get. I bet he has something to say about that.
Oh yeah, I bet he does.
Either it was accidental, or it's intentional, and he has a reason for the whole thing. I guarantee you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he's really into the virtue system, and that's great, and that comes through in all the games.
But I mean, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, he's going to want a light unicorn horn because he's a light guy. Crafting them, I make them into spears. I did all this work, spent all this money, and I'm like, wait a minute, what if? And no, it was okay, but it made me think for a minute.
So a light unicorn horn is great for the light sort of rights-oriented person, as long as you don't tell anybody where you got it.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
Yes. So. Yes, that's fantastic. Okay, but look, as I was saying, there have been a couple of threads in the forum this week, and one of them was from somebody fairly discontented because they were really looking forward to the single-player story, and it hasn't happened, and a lot of things haven't been delivered and whatever, generating a lot of discontent. And that received a bit of a following. Actually, that also generated a bit of heat, and the thread ended up being locked because arguments develop and people start to bash the game, and then people start to defend the game and attack the bashers and vice versa. And so, it got a little bit heated, and they said, no, we'll lock this thread. Another thread came out really supportive and saying, from Fionn Wildman, it said, look, I'm still here in spite of things that haven't been delivered. I understand, I know, I overlook all that, but I'm here for the fun of it and for the development, and I want to see it succeed. And for the record, I'm right behind her.
Yeah.
And so, okay, there was these two almost opposing threads, and Star jumped in and he replied to them. He also put out a post of his own and started a thread, and I thought it was actually so good that it deserved wide dissemination. And what he said was, he said, greetings, avatars. I've jumped in a couple of threads lately to express my thoughts. The threads were very different. One was highly critical, the other was highly loyal. What I want to point out to everyone is that both have their place here. Both are welcome. Please do not try to chase away either one. Our only path forward is one in which we can unite our community, not one in which we divide ourselves into white knights and black knights. Remember that the people taking the time to critique the game are doing it because they want the game to be better, and they care. Those of you defending the game, please try to remember that in your debates with them. On the other hand, those of you critiquing the game, Please try to remember that those defending the game love the game as much as you do. In all of these discussions, try to remember that there is another human being on the other side of the screen. That human being bought our game and played it. They helped make all of this happen. They are part of all this as much as you are. Also, try to remember that we developers are human beings too. We are not perfect. We make errors. We don't communicate as clearly as we should sometimes. We don't set priorities as well as we should. We work hard. We sometimes cry in the shower. We dance in the game. We care very deeply about what we do. And we really do listen, even if it seems like we are not sometimes. If sometimes it seems like we are not listening, it's only because we are so overwhelmed with everything we have to do every day. I do not think we do a good enough job communicating how much we get done for such a small team. This game is the most complex game we have ever built. There are more features and more moving parts in this game than anything we have ever done. To do that with such a small team means everyone is doing multiple jobs and working to iterate on highly complex systems. On top of that, we try to maintain a super high level of communication, even if it seems like we don't, with daily stand-ups posts, weekly updates, release notes, quarterly schedules, weekly live streams, monthly live streams, etc. And those all take a bunch of time to organize, write, produce, format, post, etc. Were we insanely ambitious to build something this big with offline, online, single player, etc.? Yes, definitely. Would things have been easier and more polished if we focused on just one of these, like other games we're often compared to, which only do one of these things? Example, Divinity Original Sin, Pillars of Eternity, etc. Yes, absolutely. But we didn't want to do just one thing, like single player or multiplayer. Did we build this game with only a 10th or a 20th of the budget of games we're often compared to, like Witcher, ESO, Black Desert, Archage, etc.? Yes. Could we do a better job about communicating? Of course. Could we have sacrificed other systems to overhaul or start over with the Quest system before launch? Yes. And that was probably a bad priority call in hindsight, and for that we're sorry. Are we sorry that some people feel misled about our communications? Yes, very sorry. Are we committed to making the game better every month? Yes. At this point, all of us have a choice. We can stay here and work together or to make this better, or we can choose to move on. If you do choose to stay and you're currently in a state where you're frustrated, please try to get yourself to a place where you can understand that we make mistakes just like everyone, but we are committed to correcting them. Please try to focus on the issues with the game and how we can fix those. In either case, whatever you decide, please know that we appreciate everything you have done for us. Now, I thought that was an amazing post.
That's a good post. It's well written.
And it pretty much says it. Yeah, the game isn't perfect. Everybody knows that. And it's probably true to say that just about every game or every MMO that's ever been launched wasn't perfect when it came out. And, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the track, we got to a stage where it was almost pretty good. So I think we are going to be fine. And I think it does us good to remember that and to bear with all the teething troubles, which there will be some, and to support this game as it goes forward. So that's pretty much all the rant that I have to say for the week.
It's a good spotlight. It's a good post. Yeah, well written, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I will take us out. The wonderful background music for the podcast is by Stephen J. Goldman. The song is entitled Dark Planets, Also, thanks to Stile Teckel for the technical work on the newscast. Thanks to Amber Rain for broadcasting the newscast on Avatars Radio. Don't forget, Avatars Radio needs your support to keep the magic of this podcast, events, and music going. Visit their page at avatarsradio.info and click on the Patreon link. This is Asclepius signing off until next week with Echoes from the Caverns.
All right, and I am closing out the Hangout at the same time.